come back to that in a moment. Tilke and Govender looking to see whether they can go over.
Welcome them. We'll have a spin across all of them, pausing on 4 of the quicker seeded
So,
runners.
16 men on the start line for the men's 3,000 metres.
The blue back number indicating that he is
the defending
rankings
champion.
leader on the outside. It's the
Nick
defending
Griggs.
champion for Ireland.
Griggs.
Nick Griggs.
European leader at the time of
Pedro Vasquez of Spain
7:53.24 that he ran
and
in
then we pause at
Belfast.
14, where another sub 8-minute
May.
runner is representing Poland.
The other man who's under
Kamil
8
Herzig.
minutes this year.
Emmanuel Jozef
Kamil
Skouros
Herzig
of Greece,
of Poland.
Alex Vives of Spain.
I was impressed with the man
11
alongside him,
for Sweden is
Skouros
Carl
of Greece, who
Ottholt.
did well
At
when
10
winning
for
his
Italy,
heat.
it's
Of course, these
Alessandro
men
Morotti. Jonathan
already had
Grant
one
goes
run
for
to
Sweden
get through
at
to the
9,
final.
and we pause at 8
Three
for the European
Britons,
under-18 bronze
including
medalist
Edward
here last
Bird.
year, representing Great Britain.
מבריטניה הוא זכה כאן בערד בשנה שעברה.
Ed Bird. Alongside him at 7, he's got a lifetime best of 8:01 for Norway.
בנורווגיה עם שיא אישי של 8:01.78.
Håkon Moiberg.
And Moberg,
Then it's Bradley Giblin of Great Britain. Mattis Liebins of Belgium.
so
At 4,
second of the
Daffy
three
Jones
Britons,
of Great
Bradley
Britain.
Giblin.
At 3, Andreas Fjeld Halverson of Norway. Drawn 2, Juan
Mattis
Gideland of
Liebins.
Netherlands. And on
Daffy
the inside
Jones,
for
the
France,
Welshman,
Suleiman Yalawi.
getting
That's
presented
the
to the
lineup. One
crowd.
of them will be our champion
Andreas
at 3,000 metres.
Fjeld
Stand by.
Halvorsen
3,000
What a very
מטרים.
impressive runner.
הגמר. יוצא
on the
לדרך.
inside. Juan Zudalan, one of 2. Dutch runners in this field. There's only one. And Suleiman Yalawi of France completing the lineup. A couple of men we didn't mention, the 2 Spaniards as well. Alex Vives and Pedro Vasquez. Paul Ottholt. Tall Swede, and Gran in there as well. Gran could well be one of the men to look out for. He's very quick over 1,500 metres. It's a 3:37 man. He's 3rd on the European under-20 list. He's concentrating on this particular event. If the pace is a little bit on the slowish side, which it does at this stage appear to be, it's almost pedestrian. They're almost racewalking their way around the track at this early stage in the race. It could well play to Gran's strengths, Jonathan Gran. 13:52 man over 5,000 metres as well.
A couple of athletes making a move there. Ottholt of Sweden, and that led Jones of Britain to push on as well. They're all kind of looking round and wondering who's going to take this one on and when they're going to do it.
Well, even by tactical championship racing, this is pretty pedestrian, isn't it? Well, they are certainly taking their time. And even the crowd are sounding just a little bit disgruntled, I think. Nevertheless, it's these men who are battling for the medals. You can't ask the crowd to run their race for them and every time provide a crowd pleaser. So, taking more than 2 minutes to go through the first 600 metres. And we've got time to go back to the pole vault.
Well, this is really exciting now. Tilke trying to improve on his personal best overall through this competition by 18 centimetres. Helps when we go up in increments of 10, of course. So this would be massive for the Turk. Can't manage another 3rd time heroic clearance. So just waiting to see on Govender, the European under-18 champion then. Tilke cleared first time at 5:30 for that Turkish under-20 record. 3 failures now at 5:40. So looks to me like he is sealed now in the bronze position, and hence some celebrations and some frustration as well. Ultimately, he's improved significantly on his ranking of 12th coming into the competition. Team Sanders, Switzerland, now the battle over gold. Third time at 550. And brings the bar down. So frustration for him. He had a perfect scorecard coming up to 540. Bertelli has one attempt left.
Well, they're trudging their way around this 3,000 metres. Went through 1,000 metres in 3:21.95. So that equates to outside 10-minute pace. Goes without saying, it's going to quicken up. Just a question of when. Still Edward Bird at the front, as he's been through the most part, as far as the first 3.5 laps have been. Fjord Halvorsen also stuck to his task and stayed very close to the rail on the inside. Everybody's still very much bunched up at the moment. Well, August at the championship record, which is been held since 1981 by East Germany's Rainer Wackenbrunner, is not going to get challenged. Somewhat curious, this event. It was on the schedule for the first 8 editions right the way through to 1985, then came off it and was reintroduced back in 2019. And of course, as we say, Nick Briggs in there in the green vest of Ireland, the defending champion and the European leader. Well, it does look as though the pace has just increased just very slightly, so instead of them being all bunched up together, it's now more like 2 or 3 abreast. There's still all 16 men very clearly into this race as they come round to see 3 laps to go. Still Edward Bird. Bird took the bronze on this very track in July last year at the European Under-18 Championships, now contesting the medals at European Under-20 level. Fjord Halvorsen won silver medals both at 1,500 metres and 3,000 metres last year. So Fjord Halvorsen and Edward Bird know each other very well. Just wondering whether they're chatting. It did look as though Halvorsen exchanged a couple of words, and they were fairly friendly words from what I could see. Well, I think everybody's going to be thanking Edward Bird for at least keeping things rolling along at the front, otherwise they'll be walking the way around.
Well, I guess we're finding something out about the characters of these athletes. I'm sure we'll do that over the next lap or two. You mentioned some of the 1,500 times. Kamil Hercik just moving onto the shoulder now. In the white and red of Poland, 3:44.63 in Lublin last month. Big improver over 3,000 to 7:59. Obviously, some of the PBs over this distance aren't representative because it's not as regularly run. 3,000 and 5,000 at the under-20s, moving up to 5,000 and 10k at the under-23s. But Hercik, just maybe he's going to be the one to make a move. Obviously, Nick Griggs has improved on his times right from 800 to 5,000 this year. 3:36 his new personal best. And he's one of the more experienced athletes in this now as the defending champion. So I wonder what that will mean for him. Maybe on a little bit of pressure. He will not want to come away without any kind of medal, but there's always the risk that that can happen with so many still in this battle.
Yes, and also notably Vasquez coming around the outside. He came from a long way back. He was at the back of the pack. Vasquez now just behind Briggs as well. So 500 metres to go. This is almost going to be the bell sounding like a gun, because it's going to be just a burn up over the last 400 metres. So Graner's worked his way into a good position. Bird Allers, that's the Norwegian, and the Dutchman as well. Sunderland has gone to the floor. But it's Grahn at the front, Herzog and Griggs. They're probably the three favourites on paper. Now Griggs with 250 metres to go, starting to ramp up the speed. Grahn on his inside. Grahn a 3:37 man, but Griggs, he's gritting his teeth and he's pulling away. He's not going to let his title go without a fight. Grahn, though, straying with him, still on his shoulder, behind him. It looks as though it's one of the Britons. Bradley Giblin coming through at the bronze. No, but Grahn easing up. The legs have gone from Nick Griggs, and Grahn just eased his way round the Irishman. Gold goes to Sweden in the shape of Jonathan Grahn. Nick Griggs can't defend his title and has to settle for silver on this occasion. And Bradley Giblin comes through ahead of the rest, easing his way over the final 200 metres to pull away for bronze. Grahn 8:44.67. Well, the time, forget about the time. It was just really an 800 metre race, with them speeding up with 2 laps to go, and then it getting very fast over the final 400 metres. Jonathan Grahn, Nick Griggs. Well, the Ulsterman has to settle for silver medal on this occasion, and I did sense a little bit of disappointment on the face of Griggs as he crossed the line. He just ran out of steam with about 50 metres to go. But he does get Ivan's first medal of these championships. And Bradley Giblin. Well, Giblin, an 8:20 man at best this year, 8:17. A huge surprise, Giblin taking the bronze. You wouldn't have bet on him, but he just timed his surge to perfection, and he wasn't particularly tested over the first 2 kilometres or so had plenty in the tank. Yeah, you can sense by just looking at Nicholas Griggs' face, that wasn't the outcome he wanted or expected. Jonathan Grahn, though, smiles and delight. He chose his event and stayed away from the likes of Nils Laros over 1,500 metres and 5,000 metres, and it was a gamble that paid off for the Swede.
Yes, and I felt like there was something big coming from Grahn, because his outdoor personal best was half a minute slower than what he'd run indoors, so it didn't feel like the 8:24 outdoor personal best was fully representative. In the end, wasn't about time, was it? We look at those fallers, well, you know, people look at this and say that was possibly bound to happen, given the way it was going. So pedestrian, even that word feels like not sharp enough. Grahn celebrating early. He could see the closing speed of himself relative to Nick Griggs, who of course was part of a phenomenal championships 2 years ago for Ireland, and not many athletes come away with European under-20 medals from more than one championships, so that in itself is impressive. But Grahn makes it a really good